Morning, neighbors. Good morning, neighbors. 6 minutes after the hour of 6 o'clock on this, the second to last day of August, the 30th day of August, the eve of our 61st independence. Good morning to you. Full casting this morning. We just heard a report from Paul Richards with our news brief. We'll hear from Wendell Stephen. He'll join us. Richard Raghubarathin will pop in. We got Ruben. He's washing his car again. My name is Steve Khan. Of course, we'll keep you company throughout the morning. But let's get straight into the WTs and see what's happening weather-wise and, of course, traffic-wise. All right? Enjoy it. Enjoy it. Next week is just going to be chaos. All right? So let's start out in the Southland. We go way up north. Nothing. Coming up the Solo. Nothing. Why are you driving so slow on your right lane? Get to the left. Okay. Yep, we're coming up to Solo. Nothing there. We're heading east from on the Churchill Roosevelt Highway. Nothing. Got a little traffic approaching on the eastern mirror, approaching Mount Hope. And for some odd reason, it is telling me I've got traffic on the southern side of the Queen's Park, Savannah, heading to QRC. Don't know why. Don't know what's going on there. I think maybe it's the rehearsals for the parade of our forces come tomorrow morning, just after 6 o'clock. I figure that's what's going on there. But that's it. Weather-wise, it's nice and cool. Gotta love it. 25 degrees. 25 on our both islands, Piarco and at Crown Point. Now, what they're saying for the weather for today? Well, fair to partly cloudy conditions with occasional light to moderate showers and the low 30% chance of an isolated afternoon thunderstorm. Okay, this evening will be fair. Maximum forecast temperature today at Piarco will be 31 and 30 in Crown Point in Tobago. So that's the WTs. Let's see who sent us hellos via YouTube this morning. If you're trying to send us a message via our mobile app or website, that is down. No fault of ours, but that is down. So you'll just have to message us during YouTube, on YouTube. First off the gate this morning, let's see. Edwin Marshall. Good morning to you. He said, on the eve of our 61st independence, I remember throwing coins in the fountain in the square that night. I'm guessing you meant Woodford Square. Garth. Good morning. Garth Celia from Valencia. Miss Ingrid in Tucson, Arizona. Pauline Buckmeyer, good morning. And these blessings to one and all. Happy Independence to you all. From Florida. Yep, Florida is getting slammed by Hurricane Category 4. Yeah, beginning to make landfall. They've got some rain. Ray out in West Palm Beach, Florida. Morning. Oliver Man Warren, Shireen Jack, Brenda Isaac, Ms. Maloney Dudu. Morning. And good morning to you, Paul Richards.
Morning, Steve Khan. Morning, everyone. Good Tuesday morning. Happy Independence to you all.
Yep. Morning. What's shaking?
It's already shook.
It already shook. We ain't hear from your girlfriend in a long time.
She gone to England.
Oh, Zena has gone to England. She's gone across the
I heard it. I don't know. I'm kind of independent.
Oh,
She jumped on a plane. Morning, Wendell Stephen.
Hi, morning, Steve. Morning, Paul. Morning, Richard. And
Are you looking younger these days? What's going on? You ain't taking on people again, not? There's the absence of the corporation. You're looking young. You're looking about 25 now.
Well, I will accept that compliment. But yeah, I try not to take on anybody these days.
You look stress-free and, rested, like you're sleeping and thing, like.
Tuesdays are normally my days that I do nothing.
You're having regular therapeutic sessions.
Except stay home. I stayed home yesterday for the entire day. You didn't look at my status. My status was from my balcony.
I'll find something else for you to do. Can't leave you idle at all.
And the other day, just so out of the blue, I just went and I have a neighbor who sells plants. So every morning he drives out. He passes in front of my home with a truckload of plants. and then
And
he drives back.
indoor
he
plant,
drives back
small
in
indoor
another car.
plant. Tell him that for me.
Yeah. So
I'll run out.
no, Raphael.
I don't
And
know.
he was passing in the other day and he stopped and we chatted and I said, what is that here? Let me see them plants you have there. Next thing you know, I buy a whole set of plants, yes? And so
Yeah, you can't
Plants
buy
are very
one.
good. Speaking of buying plants just now,
Yeah, how many tomatoes you reaped yesterday, Paul?
5.
I
Someone
love
sent me and I'm going to give them a free plug because it looks very interesting. Trinity to the Bone 2nd Annual Tea and Agripreneurs, Fern and Feather Expo tomorrow, Independence Day, at the Mahatma Gandhi Institute, Mount Hope. That's just on the Uriah Butler Highway, just before you turn left onto the bus route or the main road. When you're coming from south, that when you're on the left side, it's kind of easy to miss, but it's there just next to Arthur Lockjack, the entrance to Arthur Lockjack.
right.
Right? Steve looks confused.
Yeah, there's Arthur Lockjack by the roundabout.
And then right after Arthur Lockjack is the Mahatma Gandhi Institute. Right? So
Really?
it's so they're having face painting, Bounty Castle for the kids. They're having tea starting at 2, and the plant expo, including plants, flower pots, scented candles, local confectionery, hydroponics, chocolate, cocoa products, soaps, foods, and much more, all locally made, all tomorrow. Admission is just $10. Children under 12 free.
I know
So
there's
that's tomorrow.
Lockjack. There's the entrance to the back of Carib.
Yes,
There's
that's
the
exactly
San
what it is.
Laventel Regional Corporation thing.
Right. Opposite TNTech. That's what they need to know.
All right. I guess I'll see it.
Right? So you can check that out. And then they're going to check it out tomorrow because it's a holiday. So
Yeah.
see what plants I can pick up. When they say hydroponics,
What
it's
type of
very
sale,
interesting.
Fern?
All kind of plants other than just plants. But the title is fern and something else, fern and food. But they have different kinds of plants, I understand.
All right, I see.
We used to have a really interesting annual open day for the Department of Agriculture. I haven't seen it for a while. I went a couple of times, and they used to put a whole display in the courtyard by the library there with hydroponics and all the stuff the faculty was doing. I haven't seen them do it for a while.
Okay.
So that's one of the problems with the academic institutions. They remain so internal, you know.
Yeah.
Anyway, happy Independence, Trinidad and Tobago.
61, boy.
Did you all see? Well, I saw the news this morning. Go ahead, Wanda. That's after.
No, I'm saying today is also the swearing in of the mayor of Port of Spain, mayor and deputy mayor. The alderman will be sworn in today, and the mayor and deputy mayor. That will take place at midday today, 11. Well, guests to be seated by 11:30. So I suspect the ceremony is at 12 at midday today at City Hall. So that is taking place today. You know, I was chatting with Chinua on what day was part on the Avenue, Saturday. And I said, I hope that you are sworn in for independence. So you'll be the mayor for independence. Yeah, not really, no. Yeah, that means I had to get up early in the morning and go to the parade. I said,
he needs to realize his life is no longer his own.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes, he'll find out. He'll find out.
And I hope he raises the bar.
I'm sure he will. I'm sure he will. You know, Chinua is really a very
I think anybody can raise that bar right now. Anybody.
No, he is a very level-headed young man. You know, it's just he will understand the magnanimity. Is that or the?
That's the word.
Yeah, of the task when he actually gets in office, because even though he's not in office as yet, he'll be in office officially as of today. So he'll be
Steve said, shouldn't be difficult, but the bar needs to be raised. I don't think we've done very well in recent history.
Yeah, he's quite capable of doing it. So,
and I think that he should, focus on uplifting the aesthetics of the capital.
Yeah.
As an objective.
Yeah.
Liaise with central government and raise the aesthetic of the capital, please.
Yeah. Of course, you
As we
can't do that
celebrate
without.
61 years.
Yeah, you
It looks
can't
like
do that without the support of central government.
That's what I said. That's what I said. Liaise with the central government.
Yeah, central government needs to get the funds to
Yeah.
the city. You know?
I think he had asked Dr. Rowley that, but he didn't really give us a. But I didn't get the answer I was looking for. Let me put it that way. I don't think that city could be improved without the minister of planning and all those cabinet members involved. Is it when there is frozen?
no.
I think I briefly lost internet there. I lost internet.
I don't think the capital can be significantly improved without the intervention and involvement of the cabinet.
For sure. I saw that. I see that the project down at Piccadilly has started. Down by Besson Street there, where the old Besson Street police station was.
What project is that?
I don't know what they're building there. I can't remember what it is they said they built, but I saw a lot of work taking place down there. And of course, you remember when we spoke with the Prime Minister too, he mentioned about the area where the Mosquito Hotel is now.
Yeah, I've seen them bar around that area, and they put up the sign, and with the representation of the planned building for the Ministry of Social Development for homeless people,
unhoused
intervention and stuff. So that they put up that. They have seen that for some weeks actually.
Yeah, it's been like that 2 weeks.
So work is also good.
So I hope. Well, I wish them luck with that foundation there. Yeah. Not that it's impossible, but that foundation going to have some issues.
Yeah.
Because all that's reclaimed, but there are buildings there, and it's not a particularly tall building from what I see planned. It's a 2 or 3 story building.
Right.
So it shouldn't be difficult, but I mean, drainage will be an issue because, as you see, the mosquito farm next door.
Yeah, the spa, the resort.
The mosquito spa is next door, and the thing about it is that, I mean, it's an interesting spot because one would imagine that you would have to have some really good management system for persons who end up indigent and homeless and are receiving treatment for a variety of issues that have led them to being homeless. Drug abuse, alcoholism, poverty,
issues,
mental illness kind of thing, which is not an overnight fix for any situation.
Nope.
So you would imagine people will be going in and out of there and receiving treatment and services. So the management of people crossing that area on both sides, north and south, the bus route and South Key, is going to be an issue.
Yes.
So all that they need to be thinking about, because it is not.
And it's right at the entrance and exit of the city.
Yep. So, but I'm glad that they finally, congratulations to Donna Cox and the ministry for being after about 2-3 decades.
You're right.
People begging for some sort of facility for persons after they had them housed in a car park. I don't know whose bright idea was that. It was disgusting, quite frankly. That you would retrofit a car park and cars on one side and human beings on the other side like cattle. It was just a disgusting idea.
Yeah, I have an idea. We'll turn a car park into a homeless shelter. Who says yes?
And I know people who have died in there. Or I know of people who have died in there because the conditions were so squalid. And when it's cold, they got the cold, and that the country aspiring for first world status would have come up with an idea to house human beings in a car park, a retrofitted car park. And not only that, they ain't retrofit the whole car park,
No, it's just the base.
Half is still can exhaust.
Yeah.
And the other half is supposedly humans. It's like beyond my level of comprehension. That is how you treat human beings. And then wonder, why did I stay there? Why would I stay there? I'm better off on the street. But I'm glad that, as I said, that Minister Cox and her ministry have actually made significant progress in getting a piece of land allocated, getting plans drawn up, and starting. I think she said it should be finished by 2025.
Yeah.
Second quarter or so 2025. So we're looking forward to that. But I think there's a lot that they need to start doing legislatively to be able to, in some cases, in mandatory fashion, I don't want to say commit, but find a way to get people who are unwilling to accept help, because that's illegal. Because they have rights. Believe it or not, people have rights. And you can't force somebody unless,
without fanfare. Do it quietly without fanfare.
The issue is not quietly without fanfare. The issue is people could say not go in.
Yeah.
There needs to be a legal remedy to it. You understand? Unless you're a danger to yourself or others, and some professional who's qualified makes that determination. Remember that a minister who get mashed up for that, who insists they drag a woman out of our office building and committed to St. Anne's and was taken to court.
Yeah.
Because you can't just do what you want with human beings.
No.
Who have rights. So it's not like you could take somebody off the street and just put them in an institution unless they're a professional qualified as psychiatrist or psychologist or the medical profession says that person is in need of intervention and is a danger to themselves or others.
Yeah.
So you can't just pick up people. Remember Louis Leasing tried that.
Yes.
It's not dog or cat picking up, it's human beings who have rights. So it's not just that pick them up quietly. There needs to be a legal remedy for some people who the state, through some legal mechanism, deems are in need of an intervention of a particular type.
You see, you can pick up who will voluntarily go with
you. Volunteer, but as if you know that situation, not everyone volunteers. Not everyone is in a position to make a competent decision about their future.
Yeah.
And well-being, and that's the problem. Because some of them are mentally and have mental issues, emotional issues, drug addiction issues. And some is just abject poverty, you know? So there's a lot of different scenarios taking place. There's some people they're violent. They're just because they have mental issues. So
we have so many
the indignity of it. When it's just yesterday, I passed in front of Royal Bank again. It's a number of people just lying down there. Excuse me. It's just heartbreaking.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. What is them? Get yourself there. No, not everybody's situation is just people want to be there. Nobody wants to be lying on the ground begging. I beg to differ. Nobody. It's take a lot out of our human being to come up to you and ask us for some money to buy food. Sometimes hunger is driving it. Sometimes drug addiction is driving it. You know. Well, no surprise here. I guess we could explore this next week. The Central Statistical Office has put out its bulletin, and surprise, surprise, the price of food and non-alcoholic beverages rose by 8.6% between July 2022 and July 2023, according to the Retail Price Index compiled by the CSO. Are you surprised?
Yeah,
right. Are you feeling it at the grocery?
Why did they qualify non-alcoholic beverages though?
Because the data that's compiled is very specific to types, because I'll go down to the other issues later on. Because alcoholic beverages maybe didn't rise. Steve, I have a question.
It did.
Steve, I have a question.
Let me hear.
A hard segue here, I'm not mixing a bit too. Why the price of dog food has changed so much?
Boy, dude, that's a conversation actually.
I said I have to ask Steve this.
Not dog just
Purina. I'm just using Purina. Purina was $3.20 for the big bag. Purina is $4.90 for the big bag now.
Yeah, and more prices.
This is price smart. So in other areas, it'll be more.
Your price that is price smart. Price smart is get a better price.
That's what I mean. Price smart is a little cheaper, but it is from $3.25 and $3.20 6 months ago. to $4.90 now.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what has also changed
Let
drastically
me tell you.
within the last
The-
year?
What's
Fish
that?
food. Koi vibrance.
No, listen. Since we opened the Pet Butler, prices have gone up 3 times. And once I get goods, I always double check the price. A customs
I was
officer
like,
came
what?
yesterday. Hold on. A customs officer came in yesterday to buy dog food. And we got into a conversation because he had his badge on. And we're both saying shipping rates have gone down. Shipping rates have gone down. But yet, the prices remain the same.
I know what they'll tell you. You know.
Remain the same.
I know what they'll tell you. Well, we did buy it at that price 6 months ago.
Yeah.
But you know, 6 months
we
ago,
buy in advance. We buy in advance.
Always find a way to tag on them prices, boy. But I don't know.
So I'm just calling a figure, just off the top of my head to make it easy. Say if we order dog food for the Pet Butler and the order comes up to $10,000, and let's say that was in the time when we opened, the year and a half after, it is now like $18,000, you know, for the same goods, for the same amount of goods.
Let me tell you, I was, as somebody say, flabbergasted yesterday. In the words of the late Denise Plummer, what is this?
Yeah. And because the guy said he accustomed buying the lamb and rice and so on. A bag of lamb and rice is $700 and something.
You know what I mean? Remember I tried that one.
Do not watch. Unless you have an infinite amount of money in your
my dog
bank account.
isn't so well. My dog is not supposed to eat no lamb and rice.
No, but let's say people have 3 dogs and they're feeding them lamb and rice. That bag is only going to last you 3 weeks. So within a 6-week period, you're spending close to $1,500.
No. So let's go back to normal food now, according to the CSO. That's now Edinburgh. Downloading your file, Steve.
Yeah, we play that. This is a day when any place that we'll get into that.
Edinburgh Festival.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you doing here? I do some nonsense.
But look, on the weekend, I went to the grocery. I just picked up a couple of things. And I spent $700. And I'm going, what I spend $700 on?
So, mercy at me. So, I came up with 5 items yesterday, and I don't want to take the cost of them.
You know, I don't generally fuss about grocery price simply because I only pick up what I need.
But think about people with children who are maybe not as blessed as you economically.
Yeah.
Who are sending back to school next week.
I know. I've seen the difference in the prices.
Not only that, I mean, there are people that have to pay. And this is our next conversation. I had somebody inside here yesterday where their rent is going up to $4,000.
Well, I'm going to go into that now. The index also stated for July 2023 saw increases in the sub-index for alcoholic beverages and tobacco, 0.5%, clothing and footwear, 1.2%, furnishings, household equipment, routine maintenance of the house, 0.6%, health, 0.3%, communication, 0.2%, recreation and culture, 0.9%, hotels, cafes, restaurants, 0.4%, and miscellaneous goods and services, 0.4%. However, and here this one, I don't know how they get this one, but this one kind of freaked me out. There were decreases for housing, water, electricity, gas, and other fuels and transport of 0.2%.
Water rate didn't change. Tea and tech didn't change as yet.
Well, they said the sub-index for this. So I'm presuming we have to get somebody to disaggregate that information for us. But the one that I think everybody can relate to is that the average price of food and non-alcoholic beverages rose by 8.6% between July last year and July 2023. Good morning, Richard.
Morning, Richard.
Good morning, guys. Good morning, guys. Good morning to listeners, wherever, and viewers, wherever you are.
Yeah.
So,
no,
I'm surprised because everybody feels
Paul, There's a young guy that came asking for work and so on. And you could tell he's a bit stressed. And he works 12 hours a day. And he's paid $140 for that day's work, which is below minimum wage.
Well, and he should report it. But then he lost the work.
Exactly. He said, I said, well, why don't you find something else? Well, boy, nobody hiring. I have to take what I get. I have my wife,
That's
and
just
he had to study that. So he had to swallow it.
That's exploitation.
Which is wrong.
$140.
Which is wrong.
17, what's the daily rate?
$17.50.
$17.50 is minimum wage.
That's an hour a day.
That's $17.50 is the minimum wage for Trinidad and Tobago. That's an hour.
Because I'm so confused by the way the man gets, and I can't make the calculation in my head.
Yeah. No, that's 11 something. Let me see, check it out.
So,
right.
So
1166.
That person is being exploited, and it should be reported to the field labor.
He is one of many.
How much is he getting? $120 a day? Is he getting $120 a day?
$140 for a 12-hour day.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of security companies are also exploiting.
He's roughly getting $12 an hour then.
Yeah, $11.50, just about 11.66.
Wrong.
That is wrong. That is wrong. How can you survive? How can you afford housing, groceries?
Well, even the $7.50 an hour is kind of rough to
$17.50 an hour.
$17.50. Yeah, it's still rough. Right?
This morning.
And it bothers me. It bothers me that people have to live in a manner that they have to live because they are taken advantage of. Well, school books are not cheap. Shoes are not cheap.
Did he tell you where he's working?
I know where he works.
But you should make a report.
Well, see, even if the minimum wage went up to $30,
it will still be rough.
Average work day is 8 hours.
Yeah.
And you work it out for 5 days a week.
Right.
That's $1,200 a week. That's $4,800 a month.
It's still better than $17.50.
And what I'm saying is, if it went up to $30, which people are saying is incredulous, some people are saying that's ridiculously too high at $30 an hour. That's $4,800 a month.
And I like the argument that some businesses make that where we have to send people, not necessarily if you decide in many cases that, well, you don't need to have as big a profit margin and everybody can eat and live long. But you see, they want to maintain the significant profit margin at the expense of workers.
Mm-hmm. Well, I hear that argument, but let me argue for businessmen on the other hand. There are a lot of business expenses, and sometimes businesses are just surviving barely, breaking even, because depending on the type of business, you have to break even for a couple of years, sometimes even lose money.
Yeah, I agree.
Make money.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a more complex picture than just that all businesses are making profits.
I didn't say all. Sir.
That is a fact, Richard.
That is a fact.
Which is why in businesses you have to make the sacrifice. You, the business owner, have to be the one to make the sacrifice.
Don't get me wrong. I have no problem with businesses. You get into business to make money. I have no problem with that. You work hard and you sacrifice and you build your business. But I'm saying sometimes the issue is that some businesses, I stress some again, do not understand that their profit margin cannot remain the same all the time. You understand? And that is demanded. Well, I guess the board of directors and companies that are so constructed will say, I don't care. Make sure you make this margin. You understand?
The industry that I think they need to check, and Steve, if you could just nod your head, is that security industry. Those guys who work in security companies.
And that's just going to say just now. They exploit migrants in particular.
Yes.
Very often by paying under the minimum wage. And because they know people are afraid to report them because they in some cases here illegally.
Yeah, get leave.
Yep. And they
Sometimes
were
you
the
take away their
subject.
passports.
They were the
I
subject.
I met a guy, a Venezuelan guy. He's a chef, and he was paid minimum wage. And when he said that he wants to leave, the owner took away his knives. He had his own knives and took it away. And so, you want to leave? Leave. He eventually moved to Puerto Rico or Dominican Republic. One out of the two, one somewhere up there. And he left his knives. He said he was leaving his knives behind. We hear all these little sad stories.
Yeah. Security companies
And I
also
really feel for these people, you know. I do. I do. It just irks me. It riles my blood.
Wendell, you was saying something?
Yeah, I was going to say security companies also came under focus recently with the substandard equipment and so on that they have been providing their guards with. One was the issue of the the non-use of an armored vehicle to transport cash. If you remember that shooting at what was Price Smart or whatever that place was.
No, it was
Pennywise,
Pennywise.
right. And then the other day again, the guy without the vest, without the bulletproof vest, who was shot and killed. You understand? All those things came under scrutiny recently with security companies. But it starts up and then that's it. You hear nothing else about it. You understand?
Yeah. There's so many, I mean, I'm not meaning to, let me not go down that road. Let me go down the positive road of theater being on this weekend. What you're looking at me so for is on Saturday night, and it's a final performance in San Fernando at the Naparima Bowl, where we have not been for the entire year. We have not been to Naparima Bowl. And good news, the box office at Naparima Bowl opens today from 12 noon to 6 p.m. and 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily from today. I know tickets are already selling at the outlets, so you should get your tickets early. I know a lot of people getting paid between yesterday, today, and on Friday. So tickets are available at the usual outlets: K Squared Fashions in C3 Center and Gulf City, Friends of Marabella by the Roundabout, and Creme Fresh at Brentwood Mall in Chaguanas for those of you in the central area. I know Creme Fresh is also selling tickets and have been selling tickets the entire week. So get your tickets early. One show only in San Fernando at the Naparima Bowl on Saturday night.
Okay, let's go into the paper. Steve, I sent you a number for.
I saw that. I don't know who that is, but okay.
I see Idea is
let
our
me know
category.
offline.
I see Idea is our
the
category 4.
head of the Pilots Association.
That's why the name was familiar. Yes, Idealia is now a category 4 hurricane going to hit the northern part of Florida.
Isn't Tampa in its sites?
Yeah,
So I know we
That's
have
Florida
listeners.
generally.
Say that again, sorry, Paul?
Florida generally, but some areas, the Gulf Coast areas more so, but the whole, the entire Floridian peninsula is under some sort of.
I know we
already
have a
have
lot of,
flooding and so on.
I know we have a lot of listeners in that area, so maybe one or two can call us and give us an update of what kind of weather
Yeah,
there's.
yeah. DJ Ray, I know your family is up there, and I know you're probably worried. You'll give us a call when we open up the lines.
Some of our listeners in Tampa, for example,
Yeah,
they can
it's
call.
also a super blue moon tomorrow night for Independence. It is called a super blue moon because it is a super moon and the second full moon in a single calendar month. So that should be absolutely gorgeous.
Passing the year papers.
Richard, you have papers?
No, I don't have papers today. I'm sorry, guys.
Okay. So 20 minutes moving up to 7. Let's roll into the digital versions of the 3 major dailies, starting with The Guardian. Car flight cancellations hurt TNT tourism, so says Minister Randall Mitchell. Food prices rise by 8.6% for 12 months to July 2023. Baby missing since July, reunited with father. Student 22 sexually assaulted during home invasion in Pinal. Approval given for funeral of Calypso icon at Queen's Hall. I'm presuming that's Denise Calmer. Woman shot while visiting friend in La Joquita. Woman beaten and raped by man promising to buy school books. Wow.
You know,
Woman raped Prince Harry Grande.
I read that story and I said, what?
I didn't read anymore.
Somebody on Facebook who promised to buy you 2 school books and you go to meet the person? Oh.
Farley calls for other airlines, considers moving away from Carl. He can make that decision.
I don't want to sound like a victim shaming, but some people really need to take more responsibility for their actions.
Well, the state should move to the point of providing electronic books so we don't have these problems.
Yeah.
Airbridge cost Carl millions to operate. Caribbean Airlines was expected to receive $85,635,130 million from the Ministry of Finance for fiscal year, according to 2023 draft estimates. So that is the Guardian. Let's move now to the Newsday.
Who's getting 85 million? Sorry.
Carl.
Oh, well, the car park they built by the south. I don't know if you all saw this. You know, they built a new car park close to the wharf in San Fernando, and of course also to facilitate the hospital. It cost $132 million.
A car park. Moving to the news, you know, Chief Secretary Tobagonians not treated with dignity at Port of Port-of-Spain. Augustus Long Hospital transferred to SWRHA. Chief Secretary fixed for air travel woes may lie outside Carl in the cabinet. Tobagonians not treated with dignity at Port-of-Spain. Bolden, that's Arthur Bolden, the experts fix athletics in Trinidad and Tobago. Female prisoner inmate 25 charged with Aruka man's murder. Let's move now to the Express online for today. The Swanee saga, the issue of course Prince Swanee continues, where he has sought asylum in the US. Fight with neighbor ends in death, Tobago cops probe. Woman flung out of car crushed. Wow, these stories are so depressing. Father slain, girl injured. Spring Village crime suspects captured. UNC asks questions about Arima Northeast seat. And TNT boys win in Dominican Republic. So those are trending stories in your Express, Guardian, and News. You know, Farley Augusta said something I have often thought about when driving down onto Rice Road, that consideration be given or the entrance moved some way or some intervention for persons leaving the ferry port to cross into Port-of-Spain, because it is quite unsafe, although there's a traffic light there.
There's a walkover too, but the walkover is a little way down.
Where's the walkover? That's it. So if it's raining, what, you walk in the rain?
No, you use an umbrella.
Yeah, so the walkover is a little way down, closer to the Port Authority.
Paul, how ridiculous can you be? Why you want people walking in the rain?
So, and the umbrella could save you from somebody.
Why they didn't move? Well, I suppose that was the best place to place it. But yeah.
Well, you have the smaller ferry and the Hyatt, which probably is. Let me not see that.
The exit from the ferry should not be where it is. It should be further
exactly
west so that they can use the crossover.
Exactly, and that's why I said earlier, maybe they need to change the exit, the entrance, the exit, but then the cars come in there. So they need to find a fix because it's not ideal. Anyway, it's 6:45. What's your question for today?
All right. Well, you come up with a question for today. Let me get the results of our question from yesterday. Our morning poll yesterday was: do you agree with former UNC member Marsha Walker that Kamala Persad-Bissessar is ruining legacy as leader of the party? That was our poll yesterday. I'll give you the results right after this.
Hi there. Honey, you made his dreams come true.
Send and receive money this school year with MoneyGram to fulfill their dreams for their education. You can win weekly supermarket vouchers valued at $500 every time you send or receive with MoneyGram. With locations nationwide, send or receive money from any Massey Finance Remittances Service Limited, Massey Stores location, or MoneyGram agent. Check our Facebook and Instagram pages for details. This promotion has been approved by the NLCB.
All right. Do you agree with the former UNC member Marsha Walker that Kamala Persad-Bissessar is ruining her legacy as leader of the party? The results are in our poll from yesterday. 79 said yes.
Well, I suggest we reverse the poll.
Did you say former UNC member? She's not she said she's still a member of the UNC, didn't she?
But Steve add that to the question. That was the question.
I just reading off the poll here. I can't remember exactly.
But I suggest we ask something related to independence. As
That's what I'm going to say. Let's reverse the question and ask, is Trinidad and Tobago progressing?
61 years.
As an independent
61
nation,
years later.
61 years.
61.
But we asked if it was a failing state the other day. So we could ask if you think Trinidad and Tobago is progressing
Mhm.
Yeah.
after 61 years of independence. Is that okay?
Yes, boss. That's a good
You have,
question.
you have, you have your own boss, but you have no boss again.
He said it in a way that brooked no
Yeah,
dissent, right?
yeah. That's the question and the story. Yeah.
Is that okay? You know,
Yeah.
it was is that okay?
So the Power Breakfast show has progressed already for the morning.
You progressed, yes.
All right. Let's say good morning, good night to Josie Richardson, Wade, Rena Budu Jennings, the great good morning, Sunil Ram Samaru, H.
Brandon, if I never tell you this again, let me tell you, I look forward to Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays.
Leonard Naipaul, good
Good
morning. Oh boy. Winston Jones, good morning. Marcel Rock,
Richard gives you no battle.
Well, good morning.
I'll take a Richard.
Good morning. There's some folks listening, watching on YouTube this morning.
You can
All right,
rough up
our poll
Richard.
this morning, gentlemen.
Twist him here, twist him there.
All right, Paul is typing away the poll question for those on YouTube
It should
that
come
can
up.
watch it and vote. All right.
It will soon come
Busy
up. Have
typing.
patience. Yeah, so you'll see the poll shortly on screen.
Yeah, it will come. He's a one-finger typer.
Of
So it takes a long time.
I have another use of one finger too, but I wouldn't flash it to you this morning, Steve.
So Trinidad and Tobago celebrates independence tomorrow.
61 years.
61 years
Oh boy.
being an independent state. And so connected to that, we're asking you this morning, do you think Trinidad and Tobago is progressing as we celebrate our 61st anniversary of independence? Very well put, Paul.
Very
And I put up the flag too, eh?
Can I tell you something too? This poll is going to be so political.
Oh, yes. That's like the failing state question. It's just a reverse of it.
Yes.
When you're making surveys for scientific interrogation, you always put reverse questions to verify what people said earlier on. So,
Yes.
and according to Gary Griffith, we know scientific poll.
No. Winston Jones says
He
yes.
got some math numbers, and because we challenge you on it. Why you poll and scientific? We never said our poll was scientific.
I dozed off with Gary though yesterday. I listened to Marsha, but I dozed with Gary.
Yeah, you're not the first person to do that.
All right. Winston Jones says yes to the poll. H.S. Wilson, progressing to hell. I guess that means no. We just want yes or no, people.
The man
Morning,
didn't say
Carol
no.
Guevara.
He's progressing to hell. You need to give a definitive answer.
Yeah.
Progressing to
Roland
hell,
Bahadur. Roland says yes. Julia S. Batiste, good morning, says yes to the poll.
Good morning,
Dandy
Julia.
Pigot. Yep. P.S. in waiting. A Dandy Pigot. Totally progressing. Thank you, Adandi.
Did Adandi
That
vote?
is a PS in waiting.
Did Adandi vote?
He said totally progressing.
Oh, okay.
Adandi came on a rainy day with the cleanest black pickup he could think about, yes? Ish out in Malik says no. Rena Budu Jennings. Okay. Carol Guevara says yes to the poll. Rena says yes. Give us a call, 222-8255. Toll free, North Americans, 866-525-1099. Do you think TNT is progressing as we celebrate our 61st anniversary of independence? If you're Xena across the pond, you can dial 1-868-222-8255. Josie Richardson says yes. Lester Crigwell says no. Wayne B says yes. Mo Gaines out in Aruka says yes to the poll. Kazim Mohammed says yes. What says you, caller?
Diego Martin says no.
Thank you, Diego Martin. Happy
I want to
Independence
hear what
Day.
4 people think. 4 people. I want to hear what Mr.
Imagine.
Diego Martin, Zena,
Imagine,
Mr. Sangi Grandi, and Mr. Pina think.
imagine somebody.
There was
Good one there,
a
Paul.
guy who voted and said we're progressing to hell. He needs to vote yes or no. We weren't sure.
So, yeah, we don't know what that means.
That H.S. Wilson, that's a very bitter individual. Eh?
H.S. Wilson needs to say yes or no.
Whoever he is. I don't know that Wilsons have been bitter people, but that one certainly is.
I was very bitter last night when I watched news and I saw that Diego Martin, the new borough of Diego Martin, have all of these new buildings, including a new library being built.
Yes.
And there is no new library being built in Arima. So I don't know what the hell is going on in Arima. Because
You need
the
to get a
library
prime minister. Remember, that's what you need to do.
as a child, I used to love to go to the library in Arima. It used to be underneath the town hall. And I used to love, that was a treasure trove for me. And the current library is in the most nondescript, ridiculous building. And so they need to build a library in Arima. So I'm going to start advocating for that.
Paul, what did you just say? Hold on. Paul, what did you just say?
I say, are you the prime minister?
Richard,
In our area.
I'm glad you raised the issue of Diego Martin because I too watching it on the news
Raise
last night.
the prime minister?
And I'm saying, and the man from Diego Martin just voted nowhere, and with all that progress Diego Martin make it.
Pauline.
The man is not voting about Diego Martin. The man voted about Tran Tobago as a whole.
Pauline Buckmeyer says
I
yes.
only have somebody from Diego Martin saying no. I didn't
Gregory Boyer says yes.
You're
Writing while I talk here.
I am writing, Steve.
Good. Guy Small. That whole question is too wide. It should be. Has it progressed sufficiently for 61 years? I say no. Marcia Rock. Morning, Marcia. Says yes. What says you, caller?
He said
Good
no.
morning, good morning, guys. Happy Independence to you all. Have
You
a
too,
blessed
Miss
day. Bye.
Bye.
Did she vote?
Do you think she voted before online?
Okay.
Do you think TNT is progressing as we celebrate our 61st anniversary of independence? Yes or no? All right. Yes or no? Where is he?
Where's your hand with that pen?
Yeah.
That pen looks like a device.
I got confused, I thought it was like Vaseline or something.
Behave.
It looked like something in your hand for a second when you put it close to the camera. I said, well, when did that story?
It's actually a pen from Holiday Inn Hotels.
That's it. But when did
I
that
thought
story?
it was one of those creams like from that Pornhub ad.
Good morning, caller.
What Pornhub, Richard? Pornhub has creams?
Yeah, clearly, yes.
Let's grab this call, gentlemen. Good morning. Morning, caller. Sorry. Yeah, caller. Morning.
No.
Thank you. Alrighty. Slick Money Grip says yes, 100%. Happy Independence to you as well. Do you think TNT is progressing as we celebrate our 61st anniversary of independence? Yes or no?
I think I have a healthy love for pizza.
Huh?
I've been dreaming of a new pizza place.
You don't talk to me about pizza. You need bad books for that.
You keep insisting on the pizza, and I don't know you any pizza.
It depends on the brand.
Roti. Oh, gosh.
It's a new one by Rosalino Street that I have to try today.
Say that again, Paul?
Yeah, that's why peeking in just one time. Watch you.
There's a new what in Rosalino Street?
Pizza place.
Really? You going today?
I am, but you shall not be partaking.
Miss Sampson, who is visiting Toronto at the moment. Good morning to you. She says yes. Leonard Naipaul says no. Kyle Cupid.
You notice a lot of the people who say no is people who run and live in anyway, let me be.
Why are you saying they run and live somewhere?
Stop commenting on people who are voting.
Why are you saying they run and
This, you notice I stopped. You notice I stopped in my tracks.
people have the choice of migrating or living more than one place if they so desire.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean they've run anywhere.
I wanna run to you.
But fortunately, it's so bad and away from the original, we won't get any copyright infringements.
True. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Steve.
Morning, pal.
Wendell, Richard.
Morning.
Where we were and where we are today, I will say yes.
All right.
Richard, I still waiting to sell tickets in Vancouver.
Oh, good
Who's that?
Lord.
Oliver? That's Oliver?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll remind him for you, Ollie. I'll remind him for you.
Yeah.
All right. Take care, guys. Happy Independence.
All right.
Happy Independence.
Same to you, man.
Happy Independence. Of course, the pet bottle will be open tomorrow for Independence Day. 10 till 2. Just saying. So Paulie can come and buy your dog food here. Helen Prescott says yes. Thank you, Helen. All right. Do you think TNT is progressing as we celebrate our 61st anniversary of independence?
Have any of you ever eaten rabbit?
No.
I have.
No.
How is it?
The smell alone upset me, but I did try it. It has a very
You wanna
strong
kill
smell.
No, I didn't ever eat no
I
rabbit.
have to stop myself there. I have to stop myself there. I said, no, Paul, you can't say that. You can't say that. You can't say that. You cannot say that. Since we have strong smell, stop you from eating something.
I think we're moving into a kind of
So-
Steve.
Oh,
Steve,
wait, stop your press.
take
Richard,
control of the show now, please.
stop. We have royalty in the house.
Territory.
We have royalty in the house. Behave, gentlemen. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Morning,
Right.
darling.
Listen, I don't want to hear you. No morning, no darling.
How is England?
All you only want to hear is Swin. All you want to hear is the vote. All of a sudden, all the program change and all the talk among all this whole morning.
You know me open the phone line for comments, you know, call.
And then go because we don't get a chance.
You
to
is
call
one
all the
contrary woman, let me tell you.
Anyway, Zena, good morning. Are you across the pond?
You ain't like it so. You like it so. Slow down. Speed up.
I am across no pond. I'm in my bed under my PNM blanket. And yes.
Yes to the
Yeah.
poll. Thank you,
I'm
Zena.
not done that yet,
Well,
so
yeah.
long.
I'm on people in the job. They're cranky this morning, girls.
Yeah, you're
Well,
cranky. Good morning, caller.
You so cranky.
Good morning. Good morning. This is Leonard.
Leonard Night Paul, morning to you. How are you?
Good.
Thank
Good.
you.
Yeah. I said no.
No?
Yeah, we
All
Yeah, we
right.
have your vote online already.
Yeah, we took your vote online.
Okay,
Yeah.
I know. I just wanted to say it on the air.
All righty. Thanks, Leonard. All the best to you.
And also happy Independence Day.
Same
Thank
to
you
you.
so much.
And
Rainfall whole night last night and strong like he fall asleep. Or you get cranky, so.
and my birthday also.
When is your birthday?
Happy birthday,
Tomorrow?
man.
November 7th, 1962.
Okay.
Your birthday is November and you want to say happy birthday from now.
By now, tell him happy birthday, man. Celebration on happy birthday, buddy.
The year 1962.
All
So
right.
you're 61 also, okay. Or you will be 61.
Yep. Same as Independence.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, Leonard. Thank you.
Okay.
All righty.
Yeah, cranky,
Kenny
cranky,
out
cranky.
in Harlem says yes. Alistair Hart says yes.
So did you like the taste of rabbit right now?
I didn't. particularly.
Century, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. You know, but I try different meats. So
I
like
know, we know. We're
I've
aware.
had kangaroo. You know, yeah, I had kangaroo.
I'm not that venturous.
Where's like beef?
Yeah, kangaroo is a lot like beef.
The
Yeah.
band meat, I don't care.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, I just don't eat seafoods, shell foods. That's
I
all.
don't eat seafood, period. Anything from the sea, I
You
do
don't
not.
eat, you don't eat saltfish?
I do, but that's what
I
I
know
said.
that. But
Shellfish-
fish from the sea, saltfish from
yeah,
the sea.
no, saltfish is not a shellfish.
Yeah, this salt it down for you to eat it.
Yeah. Once you, But I don't like saltfish mixed up with too much tomato and onion and things.
You like saltfish by itself.
Yes, that's all I like. That's exactly how I like it.
No, I like it mixed up.
Nah. I don't want that.
I have
Don't mix it up with nothing. Put it by itself.
Control.
Yeah.
I have lost it. Total control.
And don't soak it either. Leave it with the salt.
I need to soak it.
You need to soak it then?
Well,
Yeah.
quickly.
It depends on your taste, how much salt you like in it.
I ain't fussy. Some saltfish will be very salty, yeah?
Speaking of which, hello?
Good morning again, Wendell.
Zena?
Wendell, what kind
Zena.
of meat you eat out in Ghana?
Oh, I had lots of different types of meat in Ghana. And one called good. What is this?
One called Mary.
Thank you, Zena.
They call her wild. Is our wild?
Thank you.
One named Joanne, one named Mary, one named
Gentlemen,
Kimberly,
if you do look at the bottom right hand of your computer, you will see the time.
one named Ashaki.
Thank you, Steve, for keeping the show professional.
Yeah, really.
So we are going to the 7 o'clock news at this.
You see one that come up and talk about Pornhub. Thanks for being professional. Hey, you know. All right, let's get into our 7 o'clock major news. Thank goodness Evie is in. Oh, boy.
This is your news bulletin from Power 102 Digital.
Tourism Minister Randall Mitchell says Cal pilot sick out caused blow to tourism. THA Chief Secretary Fali Augustin slams what he says is the poor treatment of Tobagonians at the port in Port of Spain. Meanwhile, the THA Chief Secretary says the solution to fixing disruptions on the air bridge may lie outside of Cal, and Idalia strengthens to Category 4 hurricane. Details in a moment. This is news to 7 o'clock on Power 102 Digital. I'm Afril Cynthia Bob. Good morning. Tourism Minister Randall Mitchell says the recent grounding of 6 domestic and international flights by Caribbean Airlines has dealt a significant blow to Trinidad and Tobago's tourism sector. Speaking to the media during the opening of the San Fernando Parkade yesterday, Mitchell highlighted the far-reaching consequences of CAL's flight cancellations on the country's tourism industry, expressing concern over the repercussions of the flight disruptions on the nation's tourism prospects. Mitchell said if the national carrier airline is not able to transport passengers to and from destinations, that will have an impact regionally and internationally. He said that domestic tourism and the tourists that we wish to welcome here will have a negative impact. He expressed gratitude that CAL's operations have been reinstated following the disruptions and emphasized the government's strong support for the national airline. THA Chief Secretary Fali Augustin has slammed what he considers poor treatment often meted out to Tobagonians and other travelers at the port of Spain. He was speaking on Tuesday at a stakeholders consultation on inter-island transportation and connectivity at Mount Irvine Bay Resort, Tobago. Augustin said even before boarding vessels, passengers are not properly catered for. He said they often have to make a mad dash across Rice Road to get to the port. He said that while a walkover was built nearby, consideration was not given to travelers between Trinidad and Tobago, as those coming from Tobago still have to make that dash across the road. Augustin said when the passengers get to the port, they have to stand up under a tent in the sun and rain in the most undignified manner. Meanwhile, the THA Chief Secretary says the solution to fixing disruptions on the air bridge may lie outside the state-owned carrier Caribbean Airlines Limited and the government. He made the statement on Tuesday while addressing the stakeholder consultation. He said, while we decide on what CAL can do and what the Parliament can do, we should also discuss if there are strategies that can be employed outside of Cabinet, outside of CAL to fix this. Augustin suggested finding money to wet lease some planes. The National Transformation Alliance is willing to work with the United National Congress even if the leadership of the UNC should change. This position was revealed by NTA political leader Gary Griffith while speaking on the Power Breakfast program on Power 102 Digital on Tuesday. Mr. Griffith said keeping communication open and constant are critical elements for the success of a coalition arrangement. For the August 14th local government election, the NTA collaborated with the UNC. His response came in the context of a question posed to him on whether or not there should be a change in the UNC leadership and whether the NTA would reevaluate its alliance with the party.
Well, any political party or governance team that runs a political party, we will listen to the rank and file of the supporters, similar to what I did in the selection of the alderman. You must have communication. It can never be, which has always been the bad situation. One individual says, I want Gary Griffith as commissioner. Everybody, yeah. And then he says, okay, I changed my mind. And the same individuals get on like these train seals in Orlando and they start applauding saying, yes. There's going to be difference with everything that is done. On a regular basis, political parties must always evaluate and look and see what decisions must be made for those who support that political party and who want development of Trinidad and Tobago.
The death of a 67-year-old man in Tobago after a fight with his neighbor is engaging the attention of police. Reynold Frazier was at his home at Queen Street in Betsy Soap Village at about 8:55 p.m. on Monday when he got into a confrontation with his 36-year-old neighbor. The two got physical and blows were exchanged between Frazier and the woman. Shortly after, Frazier fell to the ground and began to experience breathing problems. The fire service ambulance was contacted and firemen Sterling and Duncan responded, but Frazier died before their arrival. Police said the woman has been detained, although the incident has not yet been classified as a murder. A 25-year-old woman from Belmont appeared before Norima magistrate on August 22nd, charged with the murder of a 45-year-old man. Alima Shorts Reed, an inmate of the Aruka Women's Prison, was charged with the murder of Reagan Henderson Reese, who was last seen alive on June 22nd in the Aruka district. Reese of Aruka worked as an accountant at Western United Credit Union. A police statement on Tuesday said Reed had been charged on July 24th with conspiracy to commit murder and was remanded at the prison. On August 21st, Homicide Bureau of Investigations Region 2 Police executed a warrant at the prison and charged her with murder. The next day, she appeared before the magistrate. HBI police discovered Reese's body in a bushy area at Palm Drive, Windy Hill, Aruka on July 23rd. You are listening to news on Power 102 Digital to 7 o'clock. Idalia is upgraded to a Category 4 hurricane as it nears Florida, meaning likely winds of 130 miles per hour and catastrophic damage will occur. It is forecast to make landfall at the state's northern panhandle on Wednesday morning local time. Potentially life-threatening conditions are forecast, including surging seawater up to 15 feet above ground level in some areas. Heavy rains and strong winds are also expected in the Carolinas and Georgia. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has warned residents that the time to evacuate is running out. 28 of Florida's 67 counties are under some form of evacuation order, mostly along the state's upper Gulf Coast. Well, finally, here is weather news for the period today until midnight. For the period today until midnight, Trinidad and Tobago, generally sunny conditions will likely be interrupted by a few partly cloudy intervals with light to moderate showers. There's a low chance of the isolated heavy shower or thunderstorm, mostly fair night. Gusty winds and street flooding can occur in the event of heavy downpours. Look out for a forecast maximum temperature of 33 degrees Celsius at Piarco International Airport and 32 degrees Celsius at Crown Point in Tobago. Currently, the temperature at Piarco International Airport is 28 degrees Celsius. It is also 28 degrees Celsius at Crown Point, Tobago. Recapping your headlines to 7 o'clock. Tourism Minister Randall Mitchell says Cal pilot sick-out caused a blow to tourism. THA Chief Secretary Fali Augustin slams what he says is poor treatment of Tobagonians at the port in Port of Spain. Meanwhile, the THA Chief Secretary says the solution to fixing disruptions on the air bridge may lie outside of CAL, and Idalia strengthens to category or catastrophic category 4 hurricane. I'm Avril Sintelbad. That was news to 7 o'clock on Power 102 Digital. Look out for more news coming your way at 12 noon today and an update at 8 o'clock this morning. For more details, log on to power102fm.com.
Up to date and credible. Power 102 Digital.
All right. Thank you so much, Avril, for our major news. Of course, you can join her again at 8 o'clock for our news brief. All right. Quickly, let's take a look at what's happening traffic-wise. Second to last day holiday of school. Go to Santa Rosa, you got some traffic approaching O'Meara, Trinity City towards Paja. You've got some traffic. And after Paja is pretty much clear heading into Port of Spain. Eastern Main Road, not too bad. All right, let's head down south where that new parkade opened yesterday. If you all did not know, it's behind the San Fernando General Hospital. I'll give you the rates for parking, I'll tell you. San Fernando, just approaching Marabella roundabout, you've got some. And then from Taruba, heading northbound towards Claxton Bay, some volume, Rivulet Road. Then after the volume, it's pretty much clear till Couva. Volume again till Sugargonas. Rivulet Road has got some volume. The southern main road from Londonville, heading to Chin Chin Road, also got some volume. Monroe Road as well. All right, it's a quick traffic update for you. Hope it helped you out in one way or the next. And of course, leaving Carnage, you've got some traffic there as well. All right. All right, gentlemen, we're back. Trinidad Margot, good morning.
That person forget to type.
Yeah, clearly. Trinidad Margot, you sent a blank message, just to let you know. I was just watching the Florida, Tallahassee to be exact, and boy, those winds and seas are kicking up. Kicking up. All right, so let's get the results of our morning poll, where we asked you this morning, do you think Trinidad and Tobago is progressing as we celebrate our 61st anniversary of independence? That was our poll this morning. Of course, it'll stay up till Friday morning because we're not in tomorrow. Friday morning, we give you final results. What we got for us so far, Wendell, Richard?
I have 18 saying yes and 7 saying no. I may have missed a few, but I have 18 saying yes and 7 saying no.
Yeah, well, that was kind of what I had too, so.
Okay.
I don't think you're far off.
So there we go. 18 people said yes, we are progressing, and 7 said no.
Of course, you can continue to vote on the poll throughout the day and throughout all of tomorrow, which will be Independence Day, and we'll give you the final results on Friday morning as the weekend begins, and we run straight into Saturday night at Naparima Bowl in San Fernando for the final performance of the play. What you're looking at, Misso 4. And we're actually going into rehearsals for another play. Which will start at the end of September. So this is actually the last play for a little while, a couple of weeks. So we're on at Naparima Bowl this Saturday, as on Saturday night at 8:30 p.m. And of course, tickets are on sale at the Naparima Bowl box office from today, 12 noon to 6 p.m. daily. And of course, tickets are also available at K Squared Fashions at C3 Center and at Gulf City, as well as Fens of Marabella by the roundabout, literally by the roundabout, and a Creme Fresh in Brentwood Mall in Chagonas. I have to get in contact with Oliver Manwaring to have that outlet in Cuba, you know. And so that's it for our outlets. And of course, you can get your tickets, and I know tickets have been selling at the outlets since the week began, well, since over the weekend. So I'd suggest you get your tickets early because it's one show only, and it's so wonderful to be back at Naparima Bowl. Naparima Bowl is always special, It's one of the first theaters after Central Bank that I performed at. And I think for a lot, for a lot of actors, and Naprima Bowl was a special place too, in terms of its community aspect in the San Fernando area.
Right.
But they're doing a lot of improvements at Naprima Bowl, and so it's a lovely theater to be at. And that's where we'll be this weekend.
I've only been to Naprima Bowl twice, yeah? Once was with Dr. Job, if you remember.
Yes, I remember. There used to be some of the history of theater. There used to be, when we first started to go to Naprima Bowl, there was this guy called Oliver who was in charge of the backstage crew of Naprima Bowl. And Oliver was this gruff kind of guy. He actually was from North, but was in charge of Naprima Bowl in terms of running the backstage area. And he was very gruff. And of course, we had theater coming from North, and of course, this is the first, our first salvo doing theater in South and stuff. So he was very gruff with us, because we were just like another occupier of the bowl and whatever, and keeping us in line because you have all sorts of rules and regulations, and we were always a little gruff boy. Oliver, after that first interaction with us, and over the years, became one of the friendliest guys and one of our, he's deceased now, God rest his soul, but he was he became so lovable in terms of a character to us, and I think he admired how professional we were and the professionalism with which we did what we did. And so that is one thing that you can see. Human beings have a perception and the perception change, and he just became this wonderful human being with us, and just looked forward to us coming on to Naprima Bowl, some of our Naprima Bowl history.
Right. Nice one. Steve, is that young man, does he still a security at Power 102? Slim dark guy now. Very, very, very nice.
Antonio
Paul. Yeah, he just left actually.
Wow, that's very good to hear. He is such a nice guy.
Yeah, he is a wonderful spirit.
Yeah.
I like his devotion to his daughter.
Yeah.
Yes.
He has a very positive attitude to life.
Him and the lady, and they're both very nice people.
Yes.
Good morning to them both. Shall we open the phone lines?
After that buff you get, I suppose you should.
Yeah. Trinidad and Tobago,
but
I think has progressed. I think we are progressing. To answer the question, I think we are progressing. I think everything has to be taken in context. We have significant challenges. I'm not sugarcoating anything. And most of our challenges, as I said earlier in the week, lie in a political deadlock, basically.
That's not where all our challenges lie, Paul.
And if we can get past that political deadlock and look past the politics,
delivery of services in other areas. Let's look at what.
I think the progress, a lot of the path through the major deadlock lies in a political deadlock. Because if I have said it over and over, this country needs both the PNM and the UNC to work together to move it forward.
And chances of that happening looks very slim.
I want to hold out hope. I don't think anything stays the same.
Let me finish. With the current leaderships that the both parties carry.
Right, and as I said, everything stays. Nothing stays the same.
While we may have progressed in certain ways, in many ways, we have not progressed fast enough.
Agreed.
Because decision making and implementation is too slow. And there is a lot to criticize. I remember when my sister and them came in 2019, we had no end of water problems. And I remember my brother.
Their whole vacation had no water.
And my brother-in-law, I remember saying when we left Trinidad, and they must have left like over 30 years ago. He said that was a problem, and he said it's still a problem.
And why can't we solve those problems? We take 30 years and we cannot fix water for 1.4 million people.
Come on.
Not let me just see if I can.
There's a lot to criticize. There's a lot to be proud of.
There's a lot to be proud of. That's what I say. I think we
also a lot to
are progressing, not at the pace we should be, given what I think our collective intellect presents. But again, as I said before,
Paul and Wendell, and see, the lack of implementation is frustrating. I remember several years ago, maybe about 5 or 6 or 7 years ago, they said just a basic thing. They said they were doing away with that immigration form that you have to fill out to enter Trinidad and Tobago. It is still in existence.
No, but you have to go a little further, Richard. They had actually installed machines at the airport.
Mm-hmm.
Remember?
Machine readable passport.
Yeah, they had installed the machines at the airport to do it.
Lack of implementation. But I'm just talking about how can a country like the United States, who has more obvious threats facing it from the various characters around the planet, allow you to enter without having to fill out a form, 1, and 2, you don't have to, you many times you don't even see a customs officer because their systems are already in place that they know who to target.
Yes.
How the hell is that so difficult to do in Trinidad and Tobago? Why must you meet a barrage of customs officer and a green line and a red line? Or just so want to charge people for the extra panty they bring in?
and or dig up in it.
All right, we have a call, gentlemen. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, Steve.
Good morning.
Morning, Dr. Paul.
Good morning, ma'am. Happy Independence.
And Richard, good morning.
Good
Happy
morning.
Independence to you all as well. So I agree with this morning that we have made, not, I would say, very considerable progress, but we have progress because, I mean, I done this for 50-something years now, and compared to 50 years ago, 45 years ago, you know what I mean? So, but what I think, I agree with everything you all said, but what I think is the problem, there's no political will and any of these political parties to take the bull by its horns, because I feel they don't want to lose support somewhere. So if these political parties really do the right thing, and they could, you know, but they might think they might lose.
How are you losing support by providing 24/7 water? How are you losing support by fixing the pothole-filled roads? How are you losing support by making access for elderly people easier? How are you losing support by doing those things?
Look at our capital city, for instance. Look at the condition of it. So what does it take for that capital to look like somewhere that people like to go? I don't even go to Portsmouth because I don't like to see how Portsmouth looks like. And things like that. You see, water and all these things, that should be a thing of the past, because while I was growing up, I experienced not having water and have to depend on Wasser to bring a truck-on water supply for our home. But I can't say that now. I'm getting water 24/7. I'm so glad, because that never used to happen before when I was growing up. But everybody should have water in a pipe. Everybody. So what it is causing that? So again, the managers and those on the top of those companies or organizations, they are the ones to be I can't say the government to do things to them, right? But they are supposed to be responsible for what we get now, because the workers at the bottom just follow in suit. And if you ain't doing anything, well, everybody just lackadaisical. Nothing taking place. So, but we have reached somewhere, but it should have been much better. And I don't know when we will ever be first world, because so long I growing up, I hear we in a third world country. I ain't hear about the second world start to say nothing yet, but I only expect the first world to start to talk about. So we still have a lot of work to do, but there has been progress so far.
Thank you. Paul, let me attempt to answer.
Hold on. Go ahead, caller.
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Yeah, go ahead. What are you saying?
No, she's listening. No, she's listening. Let me attempt to answer Paul.
Thank you,
in terms of how you're going to lose support. Because the caller said that the political parties could lose support. And Paul said how you could lose support for giving people water and fixing bottles. Guess how? Because you might have to disrupt people who support you in terms of making them work for the full damn day, and also by sending home people who ain't working. You understand? That is how you'll probably lose support. Because there are people, a lot of these places are overstaffed. Let's face it. They're overstaffed and overpaid in some cases. We're talking about minimum wage just now, but in some of these places, they work they overtime when they start to fix the pipe.
Let's go a bit higher, talking about the staff that overpaid and the places that overstaffed. How so? Because they put in political hacks on boards who are incompetent in many cases.
So that's what I'm saying.
Let's start at the top.
Right.
Let's start at the top.
So you're helping me with my answer, you know. A lot of people are in positions they should not be in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
How difficult, for example, we are 61 years old tomorrow as an independent country. The beautiful parts of Port of Spain are beautiful in spite of what the city looks like. And that might be the savannah, the botanical gardens, and of course, some effort has been made to restore certain historical buildings. But by and large, can you say that you are proud to be walking around Port of Spain and looking at Port of Spain?
No, I'm going to say
no. Like how you see people boasting and about London and New York and the cities in which they live.
And you want to cherish that walk. Why is it difficult to fix Port of Spain and San Fernando aesthetically? Why? I don't understand how the leaders in the executive in particular drive through Port of Spain and not say at the next cabinet meeting, you know, we need to fix this.
Look at Citygate.
Yeah, you know, we need to fix this. This is not representative of our leadership. You understand? I don't know how when they drive through Port of Spain, because even though your window tinted, you could see some outside. When you drive through Port of Spain on your way to Cabinet or the Red House, how you do say this is not indicative of my level of leadership, and that this is not impossible to fix in a reasonable time. Why do we have to endure Port of Spain looking like that? As a representation of our republic, because that is what the capital is.
Why aren't you motivated and passionate about making Port of Spain the most beautiful city on the planet? Why that is not a benchmark?
That's so high? So let me ask you a question. And I'm not saying it shouldn't have happened. Let me preface it by saying that. So they spend, how much it is, they say 132 million for the car park in South? How much million?
132.
Which I think is great. I have no problem with that. So you are telling me that you can't put aside $500 million to fix Port of Spain?
132.7 million.
So, okay, and that's great. I have no problem with that as development. But in a similar fashion, San Fernando is the second city. Port of Spain is the capital. We can't put aside, somebody will get upset if you say that we put aside $500 million or $1 billion to upgrade our capital, a symbol of our country that we welcome visitors to. The best country in the Caribbean. Somebody will get upset, somebody will get upset with that. That the value to citizens' psyche and sense of pride and nationalism and patriotism, that's not worth it. That somebody don't feel, just like how you thought that, you know, those historical buildings are important, and they are 100 points for that, that you can't translate it to the other parts of the city. That we all feel, oh my God, I'm so proud to live here because look at my capital. And then translate it to other areas, because the Port of Spain is not the only place. Arima, Chaguanas, Couva. That is beyond us in terms of our feeling about ourselves. Because that's what it says in how you feel about yourself.
Well, I'll tell you something. I'd be very disappointed in the incoming mayor of Arima, who has been long-standing businessman in Arima, with plenty successful businesses, not to at least try to fix Arima city center. Because I swear that is possibly the easiest fix anybody can ever make, that Arima City Center. Somebody with a little,
What do you both think are the if you could say 3 major upgrades to Arima City Center or otherwise, what would they be? Aesthetically.
1, I would cobblestone and fix all those pavements and roads heading into that dial. That to me, that I've been to small towns, especially in Florida and so on, St. Augustine and some of these towns, where if you see the type of road and the type of pavements that they do in just that little area, that hundreds of people are walking through those areas on a daily basis. How difficult is that to do? Instead, one mayor tried to put pots and he suffered the same fate as the avenue the other day. Everybody started to put garbage in it. You understand?
Because there are no garbage bins, Wendell.
They put pots and garbage bins.
But I'm just saying, if I had to police an area, you see that dial area, that would be it. Fix it and police it.
But that's the center, yes. And insist that the businesses around comply in a particular building code and facade.
That's what you would do. You would also make that entire stretch a utility corridor. So you could take off those unsightly wires and put them underground. Because when I look up at the wires by the dial, I have no clue how any provider know which wire is theirs and how they fix it. I think those people need to get a special prize anytime they go up on a ladder there. Because I'm like, how the hell are they working out what to do? Because I can't see any logic to it.
And how you just get through the other wires to get to your wire without being electrocuted?
How they do it, I have no clue. It's
right,
amazing to me.
We have a couple calls, gentlemen. So,
yeah, let's take the
good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning. How are you all?
Not bad at all.
All right. They should make them travel to work at least once a month when they go into Parliament. Travel, take bus, take taxi, and see what it is going on the road, because the grants that they getting to buy all these fancy cars, the VAT off and all that, they're driving in Mercedes and all these sorts of things. You know, it's time to get a little understanding of what the average citizen is going through, because all these perks that they get in, it's almost as if they can't touch the ground anymore. They're levitating. So let us see and let them feel the earth underneath their feet and what all of us as citizens have to go through every day, pedaling, who walking, who using bicycle or whatever they're using to get to where they have to go on a daily basis. Because like they what you call it, out of touch, right? They need to be in touch with what is happening, and these perks that they're getting is not benefiting any of us. I think that's it for my contribution for today.
Thank you. Happy Independence Day.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago.
All right. Good morning to you. Thank you. Good morning, caller.
Good morning again.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning.
Richard, I believe Richard is the one should say that he has seen improvement. Look how many different places Richard have to look to carry those plates. Huh? They have built so many nice places for you, Napa, Sapa. You go all about Queen's Hall, the Central Bank, Cipriani. Oh, you have choices. Yeah, but I want to answer Wendell. Wendell, you see where we should start with sending home people? Cut down the bust down that side of Parliament in two. Right? The opposition side, all of them would like to stymie the good to the government, and everything is against and nothing in agreement to build this country. That is who should start to go first. You understand? But I know that this country is still a young nation, and it is growing. They've done a lot with whatever little money they have when they have it. And I hope that people will start I hope they will implement the taxes so that the people will pay that, and that even the mayor in Port of Spain and other mayors can be able to fix up their boroughs and the cities. And people won't make a fuss to pay the money that they're charging Just like how you see how they don't make a fuss to pay for the costumes. How many thousands for a costume that put in a matchbox? I hope that they will consider that taxes have to be paid to fix the city and otherwise. I myself feel that, the city is not what it should be like. And even Arima, I hope the 80-something-year-old one they put up the road there, I hope we will see progress in Arima. Because the borrowed here and all they put off. So I don't know what happened.
Yeah, they said they borrowed, they put off because they were being sworn in and stuff like that, so they postponed it to September. What I will say, Zena, is 2 days, I kid you not, and people may think I'm exaggerating. I'm not exaggerating. 2 days after that local government elections, a lot of the major potholes in Arima were just suddenly repaired and patched.
Well, I didn't want to do it before because that would be a cost for the people.
I don't know, but
within
2 days after local government elections, because I know them all, because I have names for them, and all of a sudden they are now all gone. My friends have disappeared.
That probably has nothing to do with the mayor who was in office or anybody else.
I don't know who was responsible for that, but all of them, all of a sudden, they are patched. And
well, it wasn't trained, but you see, people so wicked that they would have feel they do it for people to vote, and they're not going and vote for that reason. You understand? The Trinidadians could be angry and wicked and who they want to go just because. So they did it after. So you can't say they do it for vote. So maybe they may have a point.
Thank you, Gina.
All right.
I want to just go back to the caller before who spoke about them, the politicians, and them touching the ground and passing in certain areas. I'm going to raise this again for the umpteenth time. You see most politicians, if not all, drive along the PBR on the East-West corridor, and they enter the city on that PBR, right? Most, if not all, from all the political parties. How we can fix that PBR and that nasty, stinking, dirty drain that running along the Beetham Estate after all these years it behooves me. Every now and then you see a backhoe on a truck digging out the silt, the nastiness from it. Why we can't fix that once and for all? Dredge it, make it a proper drain, underground drain, cover it. Why we can't do that after all the money? I don't know.
I can tell you why. Because my window is wound up and my AC is on recycle.
Yeah, and I'm on my phone, so I cannot see.
So me I just smell what out there. Because the AC empty the button on recycle, so I could the window tint, so I could drive past and look in my phone and make sure I have all my emails in there because I have a driver, and it don't really affect me.
All politicians, everybody passing there, every maxi that enter in the city passing there, every bus that enter in the city passing there.
Wendell, there is a mentality of our politicians on both sides of the divide that good enough for them.
No, man. People can't be so heartless.
Look at Citygate. Why Citygate? There are more people that there are more people that traverse Citygate on any given day than the airport. There are more people, and not only that, more people of your citizens who are traversing Citygate every single day.
Yeah.
Why is that not a pristine and a piece of architecture and design that's world class?
Because somebody feel that good enough for you.
Because the guts are there.
Yeah.
Because somebody feel that good enough for you. What more do you want?
All right. Let's get this call in. Good morning, caller. Thanks for holding.
Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning. We just called to wish you guys happy independence. And
Happy
Dr.
independence.
Paul, one of the reasons why, because you have a bunch of some deadweight ministers in the cabinet, and you have some unscrupulous field officers, engineers who are supposed to be looking out for those things, and they're not done. I have been hearing this conversation, and every independence next year, I'm going to take a record in my diary. We are going to have that same discussion. From Morgan to present, I've been hearing this discussion. Once again, you all spoke about the Royal Bank homeless thing just a couple minutes a while ago. It is just because of that the reason why we have a lot of deadweight cabinet ministers and unscrupulous public servants who really get paid and don't do their work. What are the field officers not seeing that? The councillors are not seeing that? Come on. How long would it take to write up a project or a cost estimate to fix up all those little minority things? Have a good day, gentlemen. God bless you. Once again, happy independence and
All right.
safe.
Thank you, New York. Appreciate that. You have another call. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah. Yes, I'm calling you again from Georgia.
Yes, Georgia. How are you going?
Yes.
Covington?
No. Covington.
Ah, lovely city.
Yes. Yeah. What I'm listening to you all, and I'm in Trinidad at least twice to 3 times a year. For my mother and my sister is still there, so I go all the time, and I have a lot of relatives. And what I've come to understand, to realize with Trinidad, I'm from Arima, incidentally, and I come back and I see how the Arima is kept. And I realize that people on this whole do not have pride in their country. They do not hold other people to account for the way things are kept. Once you do have accountability, once you do have somebody who looking over, a group of people looking over and reporting why this is so, why that is so, why didn't you get people to do it? Once you do have that kind of accountability in it, once you do have pride, once you don't start from the school, where you have pride by the school desk, when I used to go to school, you have to clean around you by your school desk, then it goes to the whole classroom. And once we stop all those things, you find we lose pride in our country. And that's why people could walk up and down in Arima and see the place dirty and nasty and will not raise their voice on it. They turn their back on it. Nobody wants to sacrifice nothing. And we could put government after government because it's ordinary people that we put in there. But they know that they have to account to nobody. So they keep doing it. People have to raise a voice, not just talk among themselves. Raise a voice. Walk through a group of people get together. We are dissatisfied with how we're keeping my place. And they march through, they go around the borough and tell them we are not satisfied with what you all are doing. But if we don't have people taking a stand, we will talk no until the cows come home. And we will not change. We need to have that pride in our thing and sacrifice some time to make sure come together. We are not accepting this anymore. I'm listening to you on the station and I'm saying, yes, everything that is said is always on point. But where is the implementation starts? It just stops after talking about it, exposing it, but no implementation. We need to make people know. Even we have this Facebook and thing now. You go to, I mentioned this some time ago. You go to different offices in Arima, government offices, and people sitting down and you have people in a line there waiting, and people just doing their own thing. Why put all these people on Facebook? Put all of them, show them this is the kind of people that we have the government paying. Expose them. When we start exposing one another and making people shame, the grandchildren, the children, everybody see you on Facebook and people talking about you at how you're not doing it and you ask you pity. People will start to get a little pride for themselves. But we sit on there in the line and talk, and then we go home and nobody does anything. How is this? We have to expose people for not doing their work. And until we do that, we will not do. I pass along the savannah and I carry some footballs and things for some guys who try to help. The grass going high up. And they don't. You have to plead with them to come and cut the grass for their children. You all raise a voice on that. We need to take more care of our young people. Let the children see that they have pride in their community, and the children will learn from that. I think I talk a little too much.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
We need people in office who can lead and inspire people. That's what we need. Too many times we put in people in office because of the political connection or because they bank account. Too many times we put in people like that.
Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. Now, because I have been a primary school teacher and a radio talk show junkie, and I belong to a civilization that extends 10,000 years in my Hindu traditional connections and so on. Some of that has survived. I know that people deflect all the time to things that are more valuable than getting the job done and being efficient. Because in the traditional thing there, my older cousins, some of them not properly educated and carrying some rather weird perspectives, would get priority over people with, good perspectives, in my view, and arising out of their training and experience and so on. And then we have the political deflections and the racial deflections and the all kinds of business deflections and whatnot. So how are you going to ever get anything done? As I was listening to the last caller there, my mind delved into, why it is that we let these things happen. And you raise an issue, and somebody pops up with a political deflection and you get accused of all kinds of things. You raise another issue, that's a racial issue. You have to be careful with that. You don't talk about that. You don't live here, you don't know about that, but they're talking about it internationally, and the thing is affecting everybody. So if we continue with this permanent state of being ready to deflect, anything that comes up, somebody pops up to deflect, rather than trying to fix the problem, we deflect the blame by saying somebody else is doing the same thing. It's happening in another part of the world. The problem is this little thing, not looking back to see that it has been going on for 60 years, 40 years, 20 years, 10 years, when other people have conquered these things the first time they appeared. We are not putting our brain power to good use. We are using our brain power to deflect. Thank you.
All right.
Good morning.
Yes, hi, good morning. This is Leonard again.
Yes, Leonard, morning.
Yeah. The discussion you guys had just now about the island at Trinidad, that's the reason why I said no. The island itself is dictating.
All right, thank you.
The whole beauty of it is going on.
Okay.
All
right. Thanks, Leonard. Good morning.
Good morning again. I didn't get to say happy independence. And I want a special good morning to Mr. Penal. Mr. Penal, this self-accolades. You see, the first one, you could leave out that. The second one is yours. You called that you gave yourself. And Paul, my darling, you find that I was so thing this morning, and all of a sudden you get very silent. I didn't know you were still there till after you jump out at Wendell. I'm speaking to Dr. Paul, my sweetheart and my lover.
Good morning, my sugar plum, my column, my crawfish, my...
You like me sweetening up. So you look at buff you get this morning.
I like sweet and sour chicken.
Oh, I too. Yeah.
And you encompass both sweet and sour.
You like cheesy pizza too.
Well, how you getting that, and what do you mean by that?
I just say what you like. He say what you like to eat. He just said that on radio. He said he has an addiction to cheesy pizza.
Oh God! Once it's cheesy and stale, that's all right.
Or moldy.
Yes, or moldy.
And your cheese is not moldy at all. It's quite sharp.
At all.
So what you're seeing on the screen here is Trinidad and Tobago showing out. We're showing something on the screen.
Call with Zena first.
All right. Thank you, Zena.
Why you just run me off the phone? All you
Because
know
we're
is
showing a video. We're showing a video.
We're showing a video. Thank you, Zena.
Enjoy.
Go ahead, Paul.
Oh Lord, hey.
Is this is in Edinburgh, right? Scotland.
Yeah,
right?
that's correct.
For those on YouTube, take a look at the Trinidad and Tobago Regiment. You stay quiet now. Let's take a listen.
For those of you who just listening, it's the bigger regiment in Edinburgh, Scotland. Playing the steel fan, marching in unison, and the Pujambis and the Dead Robbers, a man came out earlier on and showed how the steel fan was made by modifying discarded oil drums and quite a large crowd. And well displayed Dame Lorraine, etc. It's a really wonderful representation of Trinidad and Tobago culture.
Limbo dancers, Blue Devil.
I think this is up at the top of where the Royal Mile Walk ends.
Now we're seeing Blue Devil or a Blue Devil.
Limbo dancers coming on stage.
Kudos to this cameraman, eh?
It's somebody from the pavilion filming.
On a phone or something.
Yeah.
But he or she is very good.
Most of Trinidadians in a crowd, eh? That's beautiful.
Yeah, it's
So
absolutely
we should end
amazing.
on something patriotic and positive
When was
today.
that though? When was that though?
Last week.
But wasn't that earlier this week?
Yeah. Well, Carnival was on Saturday, so it was before that.
It was the Edinburgh International Festival.
Okay. I've been to that area. It's the Royal Mile Walk. There's a lot of entertainment on the way up to the top there.
Yeah, that was amazing.
You don't drive at all. You walk that entire stretch, heading up to the top there.
Yeah, that was absolutely amazing.
Mm.
I just wish we could get the whole thing in its entirety, but it's broken up in parts.
But wait,
Scorpio,
if the regiment plan is out there, they're on the way back home then, because they ought to be there for independence tomorrow.
Well, they might have different sections.
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe it might be the same people.
But you see, that tune, Engine Room by Ola, that tune is going to be playing for the next 30, 40 years. Trust me.
And you know, they in this performance they did, when they were actually finished and they were leaving the arena, they were actually playing Denise's Plumber, Not Leaving.
Not Leaving, okay.
Yeah.
Nice one.
And that was last week.
This is beautiful.
Yeah, the regiment did. Kudos to you guys. You did an amazing job.
Yeah.
And I like the arena. We need something like that here.
I've seen it. Somebody had shared it with me. So I've seen quite a few of them.
Mm-hmm. That's a made-up thing they put there, you notice? But like what they did for
it's
cricket.
not a permanent structure, correct?
Nah, those aren't permanent structures. That's something made up at the top there by the Giles Castle, St. Giles Castle. Yeah. That's something they construct up there.
Yeah.
They did it for cricket.
Oh, speaking of which, cricket is on tonight, 7 o'clock. Playing Barbados.
The TKV playing tonight. The Night Vipers playing tonight.
Oh, you're on your own.
Happy Independence Day today. You all have a wonderful day tomorrow. Put on your red, white, and black, and let's celebrate all that's great about this wonderful nation of ours. We may have our problems, but we are still a beautiful twin island state. And please be careful.
Mm.
Yeah.
There's still a lot of work to be done, so that the next generation don't have to do as much. But by and large, we're still a beautiful country because we're still by and large a beautiful people, and the country is naturally beautiful.
Plenty.
So there's still a lot to be proud of, but when you hear us criticizing, it's because we want us to be the best that we could possibly be. And of course, to be the best in the world, ultimately is always my picture. How can we be the best on planet Earth?
Yeah.
And
our critique and criticisms is testimony to the democracy that we still hold so dear here.
Mm-hmm.
Despite all the talk about dictatorship and so on, we are still a very democratic place where people are free to say and do what they want. Every now and then you get these crazy statements like what you're seeing coming out of Sangre Grande and what you're seeing coming out of Cal. Every now and then you get these kind of statements because people have their own hang-ups and idiosyncrasies. But we are a fantastic place. I love Trinidad and Tobago. I love traveling, but I love coming back home.
Mm-hmm.
So happy independence all, 61 years old. We have a long way to go.
Yep, happy independence. Enjoy the day tomorrow, whatever you do. If you're going to watch the parade, actually, I'm supposed to go to the parade, but of course, I know I'm not going to make it. I cannot get there for 6 o'clock and be seated.
You're going in the paint dance or whatever it is up in Tyrico?
No, I'm talking about the parade.
Oh, I thought you're going to that parade.
You're supposed to park by 6 a.m. and be seated by 7:30 or some ridiculous.
Oh, you're going official?
Like
you're going jacket and tie?
Yeah, but I'm not. But I'm just saying, I'm working all the time and I'm getting up early every single day. I have a holiday and I'm going to do the same thing too.
I know the feeling. I did that parade for quite a few years when Martin was minister. Yeah. I'm not inclined, and did it before that as a young man going on the street. I'm not inclined to do it anymore.
Yeah. I mean, it's wonderful to watch, but you know. But anyway, I mean, lots of people do go out to watch it, so there will be lots of people on the streets tomorrow to watch the parade as they march through Port of Spain. So have a fantastic day, whatever you do today, and of course, enjoy Independence tomorrow. Celebrate and be celebratory about it as we celebrate 61 years. And of course, I'm reminding you, of course, that theater is on this weekend. What you're looking at me so far. The final show at Napa River Bowl this Saturday at 8:30 p.m. tickets go on sale at the box office. The box office at Napariba Bowl opens today from 12 noon to 6 p.m. and will open so daily. It wouldn't be open tomorrow as it's a holiday, but it'll be reopen on Friday. So today is a really good day to get your tickets. And of course, tickets are also available at K Squared Fashions at C3 Center and Gulf City, Fens of Marabella by the Roundabout, and Creme Fresh at Brentwood Mall in Chagonas. That's where you can also get tickets. All of those outlets have tickets since over the weekend and have been selling tickets. Have a fantastic day, whatever you do. Remember to smile and laugh. It's great for your health, and hopefully we gave you some of that.
All righty, folks, have a wonderful day. Remember to let go and let God. See